Hello, my name is Paul Weiss, and tonight, as I'm filming this because there's something that I'm excited to talk to you about. I don't seem excited because I'm a little bit tired, but this is my personality. Anyway, I'm as excited as I'm about capable of being, because I think that what we're going to be talking about in this video has not only convinced me, but I think it's going to convince you as well, that ground sloths are real or still exist. I'm not talking not about the tree sloths that are in Central and South America, you know, the kind of small creatures, but these are the ground sloths that, depending on what internet site or other sources you look at, went extinct between 200 years ago and 11,000 years ago. Anyway, my purpose in doing this is that you'll be excited about what I think is a pretty cool discovery. So I don't have any kind of fancy equipment, so I'm going to be showing you images on the TV and so forth, and I just hope that you'll bear with me. Also, if you hear any sounds in the background, I ask that you just put up with it, because I don't feel like putting this through some timely computer programs or whatever to get rid of any sounds. I have a dog and a refrigerator that makes a lot of noise, so just please put up with that. Okay, I'm gonna start by showing you some pictures of normal sloths that we know about. Sloths come with, there's several varieties, but some of them have 2 main claws and some have 3 main claws. And what I'd like for you to see in these pictures is the general look of their eyes, their nose that's fairly close to their eyes, and then their mouth. Now, with humans, apes, and so forth, there's a pretty good distance between them, but with the sloth it's all kind of condensed. Now I'd like for us to look at those pictures, particularly the eyes. So once we get familiar with known tree sloths and we get a really good mental picture of what they look like, then we're going to transition into a video that was taken of a ground sloth, but the gentleman who did the video thought it was a Bigfoot, but I'm convinced that it's actually a ground sloth. And the man who did this video, his name was Scott Carpenter, and he is to receive all attention for what he did, because he's the actual one who caught it on video. All I'm doing is just connecting the dots between what he saw on video and what a sloth looks like, because when I was looking at this video that we're going to look at here pretty soon, I was thinking to myself, that animal, it looks like something, and it was bothering me. What does that remind me of? I've seen that picture on Scott Carpenter's channel. It must have been for, over the time, 3 years, and he's probably put it on his channel a dozen times, and every time I see it, there's something that reminds me of. And sure enough, it finally dawned on me that, well, what is this? It's a sloth, but instead of it being a 30 or 40 pound sloth, it's probably about 250 pound or bigger ground sloth that, by fossil records, and I think even non-petrified bones, we know lived right here in the United States. So it's not too big a stretch that this animal is still alive, and there have been lots of reports that you can find on the internet of current sightings. Many of them, I think, are in Appalachia country going into Tennessee and Georgia. But you can do that research yourself and find that there are a lot of witnesses that see these things. Also, my belief is that sometimes when people identify something as a Bigfoot, it is a Bigfoot probably. I've never seen one, but some people have. But other times what they're thinking is a Bigfoot is very possibly a ground sloth. Ground sloths, they're not up in a tree, but they're, so let's go ahead and look at some images on TV, and then we'll go from there. Notice the title of this video. It's not mine. Smiling baby sloth, viral hog. Okay. Alright. Here's the sloth.
Look at his little smiley face.
Okay, notice here its nose and its mouth and its eyes. Its eyes are kind of slanted, and how little distance there is between the eyes and the bottom of the mouth. It has this big round head. Remember that. This big round head. There it is. It has these slanted eyes, and see these black pupils with big yellow eyes? It has yellow eyes and black pupils. Now, notice something that's kind of interesting about this, and I think it's kind of funny. The sloth keeps looking down because it's scared of something. At the end of this video, we'll find out what it's scared of.
La misma vara, que llega el bichillo, pero es un rollo porque en el carro pasa,
Let's kind of keep this image in mind of just its head, kind of round head. Okay, here it is. It's climbing up the tree. There it is. That's a good little animal, isn't it?
You want to put it here and take your picture?
No, it's fine. I just wanted one of text with it.
There it is. We're just see it. Just kind of keep that face in mind. Notice what it's scared of. For some reason, in their idea, it's a good idea to bring along a Doberman pinscher. The little sloth is helpless and is terrified of it. Okay, let's look at a portion of this video. Notice the title of it, Baby Sloths Get Potty Trained Too Cute by Animal Planet. I'm mentioning that because this is obviously not my video. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this little segment. Pay close attention to the face. Okay, it's right there. Notice the slanted eyes, the nose, and then the mouth. Notice here, you can't really see it, but there's big black pupils with yellow and white, you know, out here. But just kind of get a mental idea of that image and kind of imagine this, instead of having this brown here, that the whole face and head is white. Try to imagine that. Because later on, the animal that I believe is a ground sloth is all white. Okay. Notice this is definitely not a. There's videos on the internet of what are said to be Bigfoots, and this is notice how the mouth is so close to where the bottom of the eyes are here. This is not proportioned like a person, is it? Very distinctive. Okay, this is another video we're going to watch about 10 seconds of. Baby sloths get swaddled. Too cute, Animal Planet. Let's watch about 12 seconds of this. Okay, there are brothers and sisters. And you actually see the ears here. Normally their hair is really fluffy. You can't see the ears when they get older. Alright, notice this image there of the cute little animal. Just imagine him as having all white fur. Okay, let's keep going. Alright. There he is. Okay. These are good animals. Yeah. Let's keep going just for a second. There it is. That's what we want to look at. Notice here its eye. And it has this white area around it. The sloth that we're going to be looking at later on, that I believe is a ground sloth, is going to have that same real black eyes, but with this white area around it. Okay. That's a cute little animal. Yeah, alright. Okay, let me go through all this again. It's by BBC Earth, and this is not my video. We're doing all of these images of sloths. This man here is not Scott Carpenter, obviously, but later on we're going to be looking at a video that Scott Carpenter did, and I highly recommend his books. He has at least 2, and I really reckon he's on. Of course, he passed away very recently, a couple years ago, a year ago. And his son has a wonderful programs on YouTube as well, so I encourage you to check those out. Now, I'm going to do something that's going to seem kind of silly, but note, here's your typical man, although, because in the video it looks like he has a really weird eye. Anyway, this is your typical man. Notice how everything is proportioned. See how it's all spaced out? This is how artists and people have catched or seen Patty or Bigfoot have the same human proportions, don't they? So when we look at the sloth, it's not this at all. It's all squished up, and the mouth is right here. Okay. Poor guy, I was using him as an example, but he's just a typical face. There he is, he's eating away here. We're going to see something interesting. Yep, there he is. He's hanging upside down eating, and he's trying to evade predators. It's real slow camouflage. Okay, there he is. Alright. These tree sloths, they spend all their life, from what I've read, almost all their life, hanging upside down even when they're asleep. Okay, bear with me for just a minute. There he is. He's slowly climbing down. Okay, let me mention this. When they get older, several of the videos mention that they actually turn green because of algae in their fur, so they're able to blend in really well. So if you're ever in South America and you see a green animal crawling around, then it could be a sloth. Okay, let's just keep going here. There we go, perfect. I know I'm being repetitive here, so please forgive me for that, but notice the mouth, the location of the mouth and the eye. Notice this big white area around the eye. This will be important later when we look at another image. That mouth, the nose, and then the eye. Let's see, is there any more? Okay, I really recommend you watch these videos. They're really fun to watch. Okay, here's a video by Scott Carpenter. He did a bunch of really, really good videos. Unfortunately, he passed away. He was very humble and a very good Christian man. And I really admired him for, on occasion, talking about Jesus on his YouTube channel. And I really admired him. Unfortunately, I never had an opportunity to meet him. But he is a genuine article. He would go out and actually got some very interesting images and videos from things like Bigfoot and other things. There's a bunch of people on YouTube that are okay. He is the one that, while I never missed one of his videos. His son Travis also does videos, and you need to check those out as well. His son does really good videos as well. Okay, before I get into what the image that I'd like for us to look at, I'd like for us to look at this book that he wrote, Scott Truth Denied, the Sasquatch DNA Study. This book is a must read. It's a fast read. You can read this whole thing in maybe 2 hours. The back of it with all this stuff you may or may not be interested in, but this book proves, or the information in this book proves, as far as I'm concerned, as far as anybody with a clear mind who can accept objective truth, proves that there's something like a Bigfoot or that is out there that has some really crazy DNA that they checked down some university labs. So this is a very important book. I don't get any money from this, but I'm just saying it's a good book, really important. Let's go ahead and watch this. It's about a 30-second clip, so please watch this very intently, carefully. You see him? Black eye, pure white around the eyes, the short nose, the mouth. See? Right here. He took some pictures or the video, and then this is what it looks like. Notice the white here, the big round head. Notice, I'd like for us to notice also the real shaggy hair that all sloths have. This isn't your typical Bigfoot or human hair. It's real shaggy all the way over it. The black eyes with the white around it. The short nose. This is not your typical Bigfoot nose, ape nose, human nose. And then the mouth. This is a sloth mouth if ever I saw one. This is a sloth. I wish that I had seen this while Scott was still with us. He made a huge, what I believe is a huge discovery. We know that in the fossil record, as well as bones that haven't fossilized, that these were in North America and the United States up until relatively recently. The little ones are just south in Mexico and further south, the little ones that are in the trees all the times. These are a ground sloth, and I believe that it was probably about 6 foot tall when I was standing up, and probably 400 or 500 pounds. None of that matters. Notice everything we've been talking about. The big eyes, they're slanted. See that? They're slanted. They have these big black pupils. One of the videos I watch says that when sloths get nervous, they open their eyes up more, and you see more of this white part. This sloth here is a little bit nervous. He doesn't know what's going on. His eyes are more open than normal. I'm not sure if he talks about that. He goes through a lot of the other here, see this? This is one of the types of Bigfoot. You see a pretty big difference. More human-like, isn't it? I want us to see it again. And he has... I'm going to allow you to find it on his channel, because I think that's the only right way of doing it. He has this animal moving in the leaves. Not this one that's on the thing. Alright. He has this thing in some of his videos moving in the leaves. It moves real slow, just like you'd expect to see this. I just think that he made a huge discovery. That isn't a person, that's not a Bigfoot, that's not an owl, that's the only thing that could be is a sloth. That's not a bear. That's a sloth. If you were to see that up in a tree or in South America and it was much smaller, you would think that that's a tree sloth. That's just a dead ringer. That's a sloth. And I was really excited. You need to go back. I encourage people to go to his channel, spend a lot of time on it, and then look for, he put this image in the video in many of his videos, and some of them it's a live, it's not just camera shots, but it's a video where you can see it moving. I guess that's about it. I'd like to say that Scott Carpenter, over a period of many years, he saw a number of things that were incredibly interesting, and there was a couple of an upright canine, wild. Some people call it a dog man, and then many other cryptids, including Bigfoot. But this particular one, he thought was a Bigfoot. But I think if he had just lived a year longer and I had had a chance to email him, then he would have looked at that, and then also the sloths. This here, this really wide, thin lips with the gray round, that's what every sloth has. This nose like that, every sloth has that. These slanted eyes, every sloth has that. The big black pupils with a white thing around them, every sloth has. This big round head, every sloth has that. This is a huge discovery. I'm not taking any credit for it at all. This is Scott Carpenter, who's no longer with us, deserves all the credit. He's the one who got this image and the video on camera. So all I did was kind of connect the dots, but you need to really appreciate Scott's old videos and also watch his son Travis's new videos, and maybe send a message to his son Travis how much you appreciate Scott's work that he did. Like I've already said, I'll end with this thought. He's the only person in his field of mysterious creatures that I watched every single program of. Once I discovered his programs about 3 years ago, I've watched every single episode, and I just really admired him as a humble Christian man. He wasn't fancy, he was just an ordinary person that loved, that was a Christian. So, okay, don't laugh at me too much, but here's this dog print, and I do have a point about this, and there it is compared to $50. The first video my wife and I ever put on YouTube was a trip that we made to the Wichita Wildlife Refuge right here next to us in the Wildlife Refuge, just about 10 miles down the road. And in that video I show several dog prints, canine prints, that are as big as this, and actually bigger than this print in the mud. They're quite a bigger print than this. A huge print. So if you're interested in giant dogs or cryptids, or they call them dog man, I really don't like that. It sounds kind of weird, but it just means a canine that in the wild spends a lot of its time in an upright position, and people have been seeing them for many, many, many years. But it's a huge print. Now our little dog, who's 65 pounds, his paw would be like about that. This is really big. So if you're interested in that, I have the print with a tape measure in the video. You can go back to my early videos and you can find that. I don't even remember the name of it, but I have the print with the tape measure. And I just picked this up down at the dollar store and said, oh, that reminds me of the video I did a long time ago. Anyway, that will end it. Please leave in the comments what you think. And I hope that you have a good day.